Hello everyone, this is Gayle, and this is my first video of the year 2019, and what better way to start a new year than to show you some new products. And I'm really excited for these. For those of you that know Teresa Salgado, she has a shop called TinyPandora. And she's come out with some new kits, and I ordered one, and I just wanted you to see, you know, what they are, and we'll just see where it goes from there. Of course, when you get anything from Teresa, you always get her little card, and then another little gift, and this is a crown. I don't want to call it a charm because it's not really a charm. It doesn't have a hole in it, but this would make a wonderful mold or an accent piece if you're doing some type of a shrine type thing. This could go in there, but she always sends you a very nice charm. But this is one of her new kits, and I'm really excited for these kits. And as you can see, I haven't opened it yet. I think she has 3 so far, and this one is the elephant. So let me show you what comes in this kit. First off, you get a silkscreen that's got 4 different elephants on it. 4 different designs. And then you have a cutter that will cut these out after you've done the coloring on them that you want to do. You cut them out with this cutter. Then she's given you, looks like 12 of these little fine-tipped brushes. Let me look at them. I don't know if they're foam or if they're a brush tip. I haven't seen these before. These are little brushes, little teeny tiny brushes, which are going to be perfect if you like to color your designs from your silk screens. These are just perfect for that. You get 12 of those. You get 10, I believe, bales. And you get shiny silver. Well, yeah, they're shiny silver on one side and sort of a hammered silver on the other. Same thing with the gold. You get gold, silver, and bronze. So you get these, more than what you'll use on your project. And then 2 brushes. Now this is really, I love her brushes. She has found some of the best brushes for us. But this one is a foam brush. See, it's got that foam end on it. And that can be used for your mica powders. I'm going to keep it covered up because it's a nice brush. I don't want to ruin it. And then this one is a bristle brush. And it's double-sided. This one has the little sort of a flat side there. And this one has the angled side. But these are all useful in whatever project you want to make. So let me show you some of the things that I would do if I'll just not put that back. If I were using this kit. First off, I happen to have some black clay here that's conditioned, and it's on a tile. And I'm going to take the silk screen out, and it comes back with a nice piece of plastic. Actually, these look like RJ Crafts might have made these for her. And let me find the one that I want to do. I think I'll do this one. Always put the shiny side against your clay. And I burnish with my hands. I know there's other things. I could use my little egg as a burnisher, but all I need to do is to make sure that the Silkscreen is on here so that nothing will get up under it. And on this one, I think I'm going to use my Born Pretty. Actually, I'll pull from both of them. Some of them have glitter in it, and some of them don't. These have glitter. And let's see, there is a gold, or maybe I'll use pink. Here are my colors. This is it on black and on white. You don't see it much on the white. But I did that so I could tell what they look like. And I've used this before, but I left this little protective cover on it just because. I'm going to take some of Teresa's little tiny brushes. I'm going to go ahead and pull out two. And I'm going to use this one here in the flower petal part. Or at least that's what they look like, is flower petals. And I like these little brushes because you can really make sure that your glitter is getting exactly where you want it. And I think, alright, now what I like to do, and let me put the top on before I sneeze or something and it goes everywhere. I like to put a piece of paper over top, and I'm going to just use a piece of patty paper. And I'm just going to push this down to burnish it so that I'm pushing the mica through the silkscreen. Okay, and I may use this brush just to brush some of this glitter away. Alright, so then let's use another color. Let me put the top back on the pink. And I think I'll use a teal. But this is just one way I'm showing you how you can use these silk screens. Of course, you can use them with paint also. Alright, so let's put the teal in this little flower. Let me come in a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. There you can see. And I'm just going to put the teal in this area. Whoops, I dropped a glob. But trying this with the Born Pretty mica powders, because it's so fine, they do go through the silk screen. And again, I'll put the patty paper on top and just burnish it a little bit with my fingers just to try to get it down inside the silk screen. And I don't think I have any wet wipes. I think they all dried out and I didn't bring any new ones in here. But I do have a wet one. I'll use one of those. I prefer baby wipes. But I just wanted to wipe that where I dropped that glob to get that off of my screen. And I'm going to use some green. I'm just mixing up colors today. I'm not trying to do anything artistic or whatever. And I'm going to use the same little brushes. I'm just going to wipe them off on a paper towel. And I'm going to put green down here. This doesn't look very green. Hopefully it will show up green on my black clay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add another color before I put my patty paper on it. I'm going to use gold. And again, I'm just going to wipe. Just go like this with the brush on a paper towel. And it'll come off. So this is gold. This is a real sparkly gold too. I'm going to put that down here. I think I'll use it as a accent piece. Make sure I get it in these white spots. You know, the white spots on your silkscreen are the places where the mica will go through. The blue parts are not. That's going to be your shadow. And let's add a little bit of purple. Actually, this is blue. I thought it was purple. I think the one I thought was a pink is actually the purple. See, that's why I leave the tops on it. And this has the gold on it. I'm just going to wipe it off. And I'm going to put purple here. And on the trunk. And I might put it down here across the bottom of their feet. Alright, and now I'm going to burnish it again. Find a clean spot. Now let's go burnish everything this time. Just to make sure that everything has a chance to get through the silkscreen. Now let's pull this up and see what we've got. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So now, actually I think I'll put this on top of another piece of black to make it a little thicker. And I apologize, I didn't think I was going to do this, so I didn't condition any more black clay. So let me condition a little bit of clay and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry I had to stop, but I conditioned some more black clay. Had to open my last package of black clay. I use a lot of black, and I get the 1 pound blocks, and this is my last one, so I'm going to be needing some more clay. I'm going to put this over to one side. Make sure that everything is... I don't want to take... I just want to make sure this is... It didn't take any up. And then I'm going to take my cutter that came with the kit. And I'm sorry, I may get my hair in the shot because I need to get this lined up. But I'm going to try to line this up the best I can. Probably ought to do this on a tile so I can turn it. I'm trying to place the top of the elephant up there near the top, then I'll turn it and check the other side to see where my cutter needs to be. Let me cut this piece off so it's not dragging. And then you keep going around and you can move your cutter. This looks like it cuts just a fraction to the outside. Alright, so now I'm going to just cut. And some of you have a hard time with cutters. You can take a acrylic block and put on top and push. And I like to pull this part away before I take the cutter up. Then I pick up my cutter. This looks like it's stuck just a little bit in the leg section. So I'm just going to take something round like the end of a brush. Push it out gently. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Now this is where you could take one of your bales. Now the elephant was on clay that was at a number 3 setting. Then I backed it with clay that's on a number 1 setting. So you see I have some thickness there. So what I would probably do, since I use gold in the design, is to probably bring out a gold bale. I would take my knife, an X-Acto knife or whatever, and cut a slit. I know you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to cut a slit in there. And then I'm going to insert my bale. I may turn it around the no, I think I'll stick it this way. And before you press the clay down, make sure it's where you want it to be. And then just press the clay down on it. And it doesn't look like it needs much cleaning up. Where's my needle tool? There's just a little bit of clay here on the side. But it doesn't look like it needs any other cleaning up. If it does, you can do that after it's baked. And I'm going to go ahead and bake this, because I also want to show you the new resin that RJ Crafts has that is just awesome. So I'm going to bake this, and then I'll start another project while this is in the oven. So I'll be right back. Okay, well, I showed you how to do the silkscreen with the mica powders. And let me just wipe that off a little bit, get some of the mica off. I will wash it when I'm finished with the other. But this is a very nice quality silkscreen. It's not very flimsy. It's nice, and you know, it can take some I don't want to say abuse, because that's not exactly what I was thinking of, but it can take some use. And you know, it's not a big deal to wipe it with a wet wipe or whatever. You're not going to tear it. Don't be too rough on it though. I mean, you do want to protect it. Now I've got glitter all over my wet wipe, so I guess I'll have to get rid of that. But this is clay that is rolled out to the thickest setting of the pasta machine. And I think I'm going to use this one this time. And again, I'm just making sure that the shiny side of the silkscreen is attached to the clay so nothing will get underneath it. Now this time I'm going to use some acrylic paint. Let me find one of my cards that I keep here for the acrylic paint stuff. Where did I've been cleaning my craft room, and you know what happens when you clean your craft room. And I need to clean this off a little bit. This is just a metal business card. When I worked, before I retired, I worked for 30 years for a company that made metal shapes and things, and then sold it to other companies so that they could make things out of it. And this was one of the people that called on us. And he had a metal business card, so I used that. You can use an old credit card, an old gift card. You could use just about anything, but I'm going to use that. And I'm going to take some, I think I'm going to use silver this time. And I'm just going to put a little bit of silver across the top, and that is way too much. But I'm going to get it onto my card, and then I'm just going to go from all different directions right over that elephant and just press it down so that it will get through the silkscreen. And you probably want to wipe off any excess. And then you can pull this up and see what we've got. Oh, I like that one too. Now, what I need to do now is to take this and put it in some water. And I don't have a sink here in my craft room, so let me go run to the kitchen and put this in some water before this paint dries. Okay, I went ahead and rinsed this off. It didn't take but a second. It would take me just as long to rinse it off as it would to find something. It's a little damp, so I want to let this dry. But I wanted to show you, looking at the Silkscreen, and if you want to look at, say, this part here, this petal, you see this is dark on your Silkscreen, and then that little line is white. Then there's another thing of dark and another white. If you look over here, it's the same on your Silkscreen. The dark part here is the dark part here, so it does, nothing goes through that part, but it does go through the little white line that was on here. This little white line here. So, just to show you how a Silkscreen works. I know I had a terrible time for a while trying to figure out exactly how a Silkscreen works. And again, you can take this one, and this time I'm going to put my bail in here before I put the top on. No, I can't do that. It won't cut through. But I am going to use a silver bail on this one, if you just want to leave it silver. I think I'll just leave these out here, because who knows what else I'll end up doing. But I'm going to lay this on top, roll it down. You got to be careful because this is paint. This will come off if it's not dry. And again, line up your cutter. Try to line it up on one side and then turn it around and look to see where it went. Now that didn't do very well, so I'll just have to move a little bit here. And that looks good. But I'm cutting again two layers. I know Teresa's got, it's 3 different sets. I think this, she's got the elephant, of course, and then she has a heart that's got all these pretty designs on it too. You know, it's got 4 different, or 3 or 4 different hearts. And then she has a owl, where the Silkscreens and the cutters would be an owl shape. So that would be, I might have to get another one, because these are just so cute. And this time the cutter came off well. Again, I'm just going to put a little slice in the top with my blade. And stick my bail in. Slide it down a little bit. So if you put a slit instead of just a little hole, you have more room to adjust your bail to be where you want it. I'm hoping this paint is dry. I'll put this on here again and just press it down over the bail and hope it doesn't pull the paint up. No, it doesn't. And here's another one for the oven. There's just so many things you can do. You can also, instead of using the Silkscreen, you could take, oh, let's see what I have here. You can take a veneer that you might have, and you remember this? I did this a while back and had this veneer. And I keep my veneers. But you can look at this, and I'm going to come in because I'm going to use my camera to help me decide where to put this. I can go like that. I can go sideways, which I think is what I like. I didn't push real hard, and I should have. See, now this is the veneer. Most of this has been used now. I'm not going to have much for another project. But if you have veneer sheets that you like to do, I've got a black crackle in here. See, this is a crackle. I don't know if you can see or not because of the glare, but I could use that for my elephant. You can make your own veneer with another color. Let's see, I don't necessarily want black on the back of that one. Let me see if I have any other colors. I could probably use just about any color, couldn't I? There's a lot of different colors on there. Here, I found a nice bright yellow, and since there's yellow in here, I'm going to use that. And I'm leaving the piece in the cutter. And then I'm going to cut. I think this time I got all the way through. And again, I'm going to just use the blunt end. Actually, that's going to put a dent in it. I need something a little flatter. I think I can just pull it out this way. There we go. And this would be a fun one. You could take a little black bead, and I don't believe I have any little beads here. I think they're in the other room with my other stuff. But just say take a little itty bitty teeny tiny piece of black, and roll it into a ball. And let's put it right there, and then use a little ball tool to press it in, and there's a little elephant with an eye on it. You know, every veneer you use would be different, so get to work on veneers. You can do, like I said, the paint. You can use canes that you've had that you want to make things into. You know, you don't want to don't throw away anything. Everything you've got can be used for something, even if it's scrap. I've started the process of putting my making scrap sheets. And there's another project I want to show you when I have a little bit more time. But I'm going to go ahead and bake these too. I don't know if I want a bail in this one or not, but I probably should. So let me just... I think the bronze would look the best. Make sure it's where you want it. And then press the clay down around it. And it won't go anywhere. So there you go. I'm going to use a different ball. I think this one would be better. There. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything baked, and then I'll be back in a little bit to show you how to put resin on them. Okay, our pieces are all baked, and they're still on the tiles. And I think I'm going to save this one for last, only because I have not used this resin before, and I don't want to mess up a good one. Let me move this lamp over a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is the Easy Dome UV resin by RJ Crafts, and I've only seen her demonstrate it. I've seen Allison demonstrate it, but I'm going to try it myself. So I'm going to start with this one, and I will come in a little bit. I don't want to come in too far. But this has a twist top on the top, and it's black, so it filters out all of the daylight. And I'm going to put a little puddle right in the middle. Replace my top, and then I'm going to take a toothpick and just nudge it over to the edge of my piece. Now this is a doming resin. This is not like the finish that Teresa sells. Teresa sells the Deep Shine, which is what I'm probably going to put on the back after I get these done. But this is a doming resin, and I haven't worked with it much. I've done a little bit, but not a whole lot. But I do want to bring it all the way over to the edge. I probably need to get over here where I can see what I'm doing. Bring it over here to the edge. And hopefully I've got enough to come all the way over on this trunk. Doesn't take a lot, and you can put multiple, excuse my hair, you can put multiple layers on here. But let me look at this to see if everything is covered, and it looks like it is. Now, because this is a doming resin, it's the reason it doesn't, I've been told that it doesn't pull away from the edges because it's a very slow curing resin. It takes about 30 minutes for this to cure. I'm just making sure that this is evenly spread out everywhere. And I can see in looking at this that there's some teeny tiny little bubbles in here. I may let that sit for a little bit. I may as well do the other one since they're on the tile, and I will just, whoops. It helps if you take the pour part of it off. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull this to the edge. I'm going to make sure it gets in that little eyeball that I did. Now I may be doing this too quickly. Like I said, I've never done resin at all until I started using Teresa's Deep Shine finish, and I absolutely love that. So I thought I would give this a try. since it is a doming resin. But just bring it to the edges and try to bring it just over, just barely over the edge. And you see how it makes everything pop. On this, the colors are popping. On this one, the silver paint is popping. I can't wait to try it on the... I might need just a little dab. But I can't wait to try it on the one with the mica powder, because that is so beautiful anyway. But if these turn out okay, then I will do, sorry, I keep seeing these little places, then I will do the other one. The main thing I like about resin is not only does it give it a good protective surface, but it covers up all of your little mistakes without having to sand. Now I'm going to let that sit for a minute to level out. And I'm going to take my little lighter I see one little place here. Anyway, I'm going to take my little lighter except I think it's out. So I'm going to have to go get another lighter if you would. I thought I had one in here. I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm going to do, I keep finding this one little hole right here. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm going to light my lighter and just run over this lightly. And what that does is it pops any little bubbles that might be on the surface. And I'm going to bring my light over so that it sits even. And I'm going to put my pieces in here, and I'm going to leave them in here for 30 minutes. So I will be back as soon as the 30 minutes is up. Alright, my 3 pendants are coated in the resin. It doesn't look like it's pulled away from the sides anywhere, but look at this one. This is my favorite. Look at that with the sparkle, and the resin just brought out the sparkle. Awesome. And then there's this one, which is with the silver paint. And then this one that has the different colors in it. This could be any veneer that you've got. You could make into an animal. So there you go. There are the 3 elephants that I made using TinyPandora's elephant kit. I'll put the link below if you're interested in it. And I will also link the Easy Dome UV resin from RJ Crafts. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back again soon. Bye-bye.